Hi, and welcome to Petersville Farm. There are many uses for herbs growing in the garden besides using them as seasonings and their flowers attracting beneficial insects. Additionally, some plants provide not only tasty fruits but also have nutritious leaves. A number of the plants and herbs in the garden could be employed to make teas, both hot and cold alike, that offer health benefits. You may have several herbs suitable for the making of tea. In this video, I discuss some of the best herbs for tea that I grow. I'll be providing brief discussions on their propagations. This will be part 1 of a total of 2 videos that will be based on making tea from these herbs. So shown here is a blackberry plant, and so not only the fruits are amazing, but the leaves are also amazing in that it makes a great tea. Now, some of the benefits that can be derived from these leaves, this is quite a vigorous growing blackberry plant. Some of the benefits from the tea is it's useful for sore throat, sore gums, mouth ulcers. It's rich in vitamin C. The leaves are rich in vitamin C. It has also astringent qualities. It's also good for things such as gastrointestinal inflammation. Blackberry leaves also could be used to treat or reduce diarrhea. So those are just some of the benefits that can be derived from using the leaves of this plant. And you can actually also, when you're making the tea, the rule that I've learned is you do not use more than 3 leaves. So you could use 3 leaves or 2 leaves. If you're going to mix it with the raspberry leaves, then try not to have any more than 5 leaves for 1 teacup in that case. This is peppermint. I have it growing here in a pot. Now, like all the mints, they will take over. They're invasive. They're hardy perennials. So the one thing I like about the hardy perennials, I don't have to bring them indoors. That's just one less thing that I'll have to bring indoors. Now you could start them from seeds or from roots, which rooting is the better option, quicker option. You could use the leaves and the flowers in teas. And some of the benefits of the peppermint are is good for nausea, vomiting. It's an intestinal and stomach disinfectant. It helps with gas, fever. It's good for fever, colds, flus. And it's also helped, just, you commonly using it as a tea, it can help to increase your appetite. So there's some people that may want their appetite improved, then this is a great option for that purpose. So this is this is called Cuban oregano. There are a lot of names for this plant, so I'll put the scientific name up on the screen. You'll be able to see the scientific name. But also, this is commonly called French thyme. In Antigua, it's called French thyme. And what I've observed, it's not used a lot in teas. Normally, they use it to wash their meat, like their fish. It takes the raw scent away. But French thyme makes a perfect tea. All you need to make a teacup of tea is 2 to 3 leaves, depending on the size. It's useful for sore throats, coughs, cold, nasal congestion, infections, rheumatoid arthritis. It's useful to help with reduce that. And so these are just some of the names. Now this is a tropical. It will die from even the low temperatures. So you know, here I have it in the greenhouse. This one being here in the greenhouse for at least 2 years now, and so it does well here in the greenhouse. But you definitely will have to bring these indoors. These are easy to grow from cuttings, and you just place it in some water and it will root. And so it's better to propagate it from cuttings rather than from seeds. They do bear purple flowers in the spring, but the cuttings would be ideal, and they are very vigorous growers during the summer months. So this is spearmint. I purchased this as a small plant from Burpee, and you could actually grow them in partial shade. They're also vigorous growers, so it's good to grow them by themselves. You don't want to grow it among other mints also, because they would fight for space. So that is one of the important things. And during the time when it's growing vigorously, it's important to apply some pruning. Now this plant also is winter hardy, so there will be no reason for me to bring them indoors. Some of the benefits of the spearmint is it's useful for upset stomach. It is high in antioxidant. It helps to improve the memory. It fights bacterial infections. It can assist in the lowering of blood sugar. It's useful just like the spearmint and the lemon balm for stress reduction. It helps to improve the arthritis pain, and also it is said to help in the lowering of high blood pressure. So those are just some of the benefits of using spearmint. It can be used to make a tea, a cold or hot tea, and so you can brew it if you want to do it as a cold tea. For just to make some hot tea, to 1 teacup you could use 4 to 5 leaves, and you pour the warm water into the cup and you can strain accordingly. If you don't want to add sugar, you could use stevia, which has 0 calories. That would be the best option in that case. And also you could use the leaves dried, but again, if you have the plant, that's one of the beauty of growing it. If you have the plant growing, then there will be no need to dry the leaves. Well, if you have extra and if you prune, you may have some dried leaves, but for the most part, growing these plants in your garden area or added to your herbary, you will have a consistent supply of fresh spearmint plants. So these are the Italian parsley. The leaves can be used to make the tea. Importantly, the roots also are useful in making the tea. The roots has more nutrients than the leaves, and so after that 2 years, because they will grow for 2 years, and after that they will die back. So during that point, after the 2 years, you can actually also utilize the leaves to make a tea. Now in terms of making a tea, what you could do is with the leaves is you could steep the leaves in a cup of hot water for 5 to 10 minutes, and once that is done, then you could add some honey and some lemon juice, or you could also sweeten with some brown sugar. So what are some of the benefits of the parsley? Well, it's rich in vitamin C. It is high in antioxidants. It may have cancer fighting properties. It may aid in the blood sugar control. It provides other nutrients that are essential to our health. So as I mentioned, you could use the leaves, or you can use the leaves dried. Also, ideally, it would be great to also use the roots, as they provide a higher content of nutrients. So here I have some sorrel. They're also referred to as roselle. So there are a lot of names for them, even hibiscus flowers, Jamaican flowers. There are a lot of names for these plants. Now, the way I do it is every year I do the harvesting in these pods. Once I take the petals off the seeds, I would save the seeds, and that is how I will replenish the supply. So they're annuals, so you'd have to grow each year. So other than making the famous sorrel drink, you can also make a sorrel tea. The sorrel is an antioxidant. It lowers cholesterol. It satisfies thirst. It's rich in vitamins and minerals, some to include you have calcium, vitamin C, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, vitamin A, vitamin B1, B2, B3. It's also antibacterial. It aids in blood sugar regulation. It also helps in terms of blood sugar regulation, and it also helps because of all these nutrients and antioxidant properties. It also helps to support the immune system. So I like these growing here at the fence. They are very fragile. When you're growing them, they're very fragile to the wind, strong wind. And now in November here in Georgia, it's kind of not too windy, but even with that, the moderate wind, it affects the plants. So most of those I have planted here, they somewhat underground. So these are some of the roselle blown by the wind. The key thing, I have to make sure they're not touching the ground. So I'll have to do something about those touching the ground, because that won't be good, especially like this plant here. I think I could have it supported on the shade structure. Okay, and that would be good right there. And I possibly need some sort of support for the others. So this is Moringa. It's native to India. It's easy to start from seed. They are fast growers. Now they do get slowed down here in zone 8 because we have the winter season. The Moringa plant the leaves provide a lot of benefits, and also helps in the prevention of certain diseases relating to heart health, diabetes, and high blood pressure. It's also good for brain health. It's an antioxidant, and also it's rich in calcium, iron, and vitamin A. So those are just some among the list. So in terms of making the tea, the best way to make the tea is you could steep it for 5 to 10 minutes. You add sweeten with some honey, and just for some additional flavor, you could add some lemon juice. This is ginger, and this is the point in time where it's the harvesting of ginger and turmeric in progress. So here is the ginger. It's growing in pots, and clearly we can see this is not it will work in the pots, but it looks like it really loves the soil here, and so it's pushing the pot out so it can have room for the rhizome. So let's just remove this ginger and see what we have. Okay, so here we go. This is just part of it. Now, just to recall from one of the previous videos that I did, that in terms of growing these rhizomes, they require warm, moist, sheltered location, partial shade, especially for our location here, zone 8 in Georgia. And what are some of the benefits of ginger? Well, one of the things is it relieves headaches. It helps in the treatment of arthritis. It's a circulatory stimulant. It's an antiseptic, and it's also an antioxidant. So this is just some of the benefits, just a few to list in that case. So as I mentioned, I will be working on some more harvesting for the ginger, where I'll be drying them, and I'll be grounding some also for future purposes, and that will provide a year's supply. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe to the Petersville Farm channel. All comments and suggestions are welcome. They are greatly appreciated. Thank you.